You've done the work, uncovered the illusions, reclaimed your power, and finally, you stand stronger than you ever have. The narcissist can no longer twist your perception, no longer control your emotions with ease. But just as you think you've won, just as you think the battle is over, they launch one final, desperate and devastating attack. This time, it's different, more insidious, more subtle. They see your strength and fear it, but they won't back down until they've made you doubt it. It's a final dirty trick designed to shake you, to make you question everything you've built. The confusion sets in, and for a moment you're not sure if you can trust yourself anymore. Your hard-won autonomy feels threatened once again as the narcissist's toxic influence tries to creep back in. You've been through cycles of abuse, confusion, and self-doubt. Each time you've begun to find your voice, they've tried to silence it, but now you're not the same person. Now you see through their games, and you know they're only afraid of one thing: your strength. The moment they realize they can no longer control you with their old tricks, they'll resort to their final tactic. This is their last-ditch effort to break you down and regain control. In this journey, we'll uncover what happens when a narcissist sees you as a threat to their control, and the dirty trick they'll try as a last-ditch effort to regain their power. But we won't stop there. Carl Jung's wisdom will help you understand how to protect yourself, integrate this final challenge, and continue on the path towards self-realization and empowerment. From a Jungian perspective, narcissism is rooted in the ego's fear of being exposed. The narcissist builds a facade, a false self that craves admiration, validation, and control. When their ego is threatened, they lash out, desperately trying to maintain their image. This is why when they sense you've become too strong, when their manipulation no longer works, they resort to desperate measures. This is their last defense, an attempt to reassert control even if it means playing dirty. The narcissist's behavior, when stripped of its layers of manipulation, is the result of an unconscious struggle. Their ego is desperately protecting a fragile self-image, one that can't bear to be revealed for what it truly is. Jung described the false self as a mask, a persona that shields the vulnerable aspects of the ego. When their mask is cracked, they'll do anything to fix it, even at the expense of others. The final trick is their attempt to manipulate you into questioning your newfound strength, your authenticity, and your reality. It's not just about defeating you, it's a battle between their false self and the unconscious truth they've spent their life hiding from. Their last resort is to make you doubt everything you've come to know about yourself, attempting to bring you back into the web of confusion they've woven for so long. When the narcissist senses your strength, their primary weapon shifts to one of emotional manipulation, gaslighting. They'll twist reality to make you question your own sense of self. They might tell you that you've changed, that you're becoming too distant, or that they miss the old you. This is a desperate tactic to confuse you and make you doubt your growth. They may even try to play the victim, portraying themselves as the one who has been wronged by your newfound strength. By bringing up past moments of weakness or portraying you as someone who used to be more submissive, they aim to disrupt your sense of identity and reassert control. In their eyes, you've become a threat, a person no longer easily manipulated, and this final trick is their last desperate attempt to pull you back into the web of control. The narcissist will weave a narrative that makes you believe that the love or affection you once shared with them is being destroyed by your own strength, suggesting that the problem is with you, not their toxic behavior. This emotional manipulation is meant to trigger guilt, fear, and doubt, causing you to question whether you truly have the strength to stand on your own. But it is vital to recognize that these tactics are not reflective of your growth. They are a manifestation of their fear and insecurity. Jung believed that our shadow is made up of the parts of ourselves that we reject or repress. For the narcissist, their shadow consists of their vulnerabilities, their unhealed wounds. But when you stand firm, it's as if your strength forces them to confront their shadow. They see your autonomy as a threat to the control they've cultivated. This dirty trick is their attempt to project their shadow onto you, convincing you that you're the one who's in the wrong. They want to draw you back into their pattern, to make you feel as if you're the one who's lost your way, when in truth they are simply afraid of losing their grip on you. Their projection is an unconscious effort to bring you down to their level, to keep you entangled in their world of manipulation and control. Recognizing this trick for what it is, a desperate attempt to reassert power, can help you maintain your autonomy and resist the urge to fall back into their trap. The narcissist's dirty trick begins with confusion. They'll use gaslighting to make you doubt your own experience. You're overreacting, they'll say, or you're just being too sensitive. These statements seem harmless on the surface, but they are strategically designed to destabilize your perception of reality. The narcissist wants you to question your own feelings and memories, making you doubt your instincts. By invalidating your experiences, they create a mental fog where you no longer trust yourself. In the chaos they create, they hope to regain control over you, but their manipulation doesn't stop there. They'll also play the victim, painting themselves as the martyr who's been wronged. "I've always supported you, but you've changed," they might say, positioning themselves as the person who's been hurt by your newfound strength. This is another tactic to lure you back into their grasp. By making you feel guilty for asserting your boundaries or growing stronger, they reverse the roles, making you feel as though you are the one responsible for the problem. These aren't just random statements, they are calculated attempts to shift the power dynamic back in their favor. The narcissist also uses passive-aggressive behavior to maintain control, making subtle comments or actions that imply they are hurt or disappointed. Their silence or coldness becomes a weapon to manipulate your emotions, pushing you to question your worth and actions. As the narcissist works their manipulative magic, you might find yourself questioning your own growth, your sense of purpose, and your direction. The confidence you've built begins to crack as self-doubt creeps in, and you might even feel guilty for standing firm against their manipulation. You might start to feel as if you've become the villain in their twisted narrative, playing the role of the person who's hurt them, even though all you've done is reclaim your strength. This is the intended effect, to make you forget your own strength and self-worth and return to a place where they can control you. The emotional manipulation doesn't only destabilize your reality, it works to make you doubt your progress, bringing you back under the narcissist's thumb. Beneath the narcissist's grandiose exterior lies a deeply fragile ego, one that is constantly in need of validation and admiration. This ego, though it may appear strong and invincible on the surface, is actually a carefully constructed facade, vulnerable to any threat that challenges it. When they see you becoming stronger, more confident, or asserting your autonomy, their ego feels personally attacked. The very foundation of their identity starts to tremble. For the narcissist, control is the only way to maintain their sense of superiority. It's not just about winning in a power struggle, it's about protecting the illusion they've created for themselves. By manipulating your perception of reality, they can undermine your strength and reassert dominance. This psychological tactic restores their fragile sense of control, allowing them to feel more secure in their position. From a Jungian perspective, the narcissist's behavior is deeply tied to the concept of the false self, or persona. Jung believed that the persona is the mask we wear to meet the expectations of society and others. For most people, the persona is a way to navigate the world, but it does not define the true self. However, for the narcissist, the persona is not just a mask, it is their entire identity. It represents everything they believe they are, and it is the only version of themselves they can present to the world. This false self is an essential part of their survival, and when it is threatened, it triggers a psychological crisis. The narcissist reacts instinctively to defend the persona they've constructed. The sudden appearance of someone stronger than them is an existential threat, challenging the entire foundation of their ego. In response, they resort to any tactic they can, whether gaslighting, guilt-tripping, or emotional manipulation, in a desperate attempt to preserve the mask they've spent their life perfecting. Their behavior is not about power for the sake of power. It's about the need to keep their false self intact. The narcissist cannot bear the idea of their mask slipping, and so, when they perceive someone like you as a threat, they will stop at nothing to tear you down. The narcissist's desperate need to maintain control over their fragile ego leads to a series of manipulative tactics designed to destabilize those who threaten their constructed sense of self. When their false self, the persona, begins to crack, they'll do everything in their power to restore it, even at the expense of others. This is why, when you grow stronger, when you start standing in your power, they can no longer rely on the usual manipulations. Instead, they escalate their efforts, turning to subtler, more insidious forms of psychological warfare. The narcissist, unable to confront their own vulnerabilities, tries to make you feel as though you are the one who has changed. They may accuse you of becoming distant, ungrateful, or cold, all while projecting their own inadequacies onto you. The goal is simple: to make you question your own growth, to create doubt about your newfound strength. This strategy forces you to question whether you've really become the person you've fought to become, or if you're simply falling into a pattern of self-deception. By twisting your reality, the narcissist's goal is to regain the upper hand, to make you revert to the submissive, self-doubting individual you once were. They want to strip you of your confidence and independence, making you feel like you're in the wrong for asserting yourself. As this manipulation unfolds, you might feel a sense of confusion, a loss of clarity. It's easy to doubt yourself when someone you once trusted, someone who once had power over you, begins to present you as the villain. In those moments, the narcissist's true weapon is not the direct attack, it's the subtle erosion of your sense of self. The constant barrage of guilt, gaslighting, and emotional manipulation begins to chip away at the foundation of your self-assurance. And yet, if you are able to see through their tactics, you'll realize that this is not a battle of strength. It's a battle for your truth. The narcissist cannot stand to see you embrace your authenticity because, in doing so, you expose the cracks in their carefully constructed identity. To protect yourself from the narcissist's final dirty trick, it's essential to stay grounded in your inner strength. Recognize that their manipulations are simply projections of their own unresolved fears and insecurities. When they attempt to gaslight or guilt-trip you, it's important to remember that their words are not a reflection of your truth, but of their desperate need to control and dominate. These tactics are designed to make you question your reality and shift your focus away from your own well-being. However, by anchoring yourself in your true self, you can remain impervious to their attempts to destabilize you. Stay rooted in your sense of self-worth and don't allow their tactics to disturb your inner peace. When you know who you are and trust your instincts, their false narratives lose their power. One of the most powerful ways to shield yourself from their influence is by cultivating strong, firm boundaries. These boundaries are not just about protecting your physical space, but also your emotional and mental well-being. Boundaries are the line in the sand that the narcissist cannot cross. They're not there to punish or to isolate, but to protect your energy, your values, and your sense of self. By affirming your truth and embracing your strength, you put up an invisible barrier that makes their manipulative tactics powerless. Every time you stand firm and refuse to bend to their will, you reinforce your resilience, and the narcissist's control over you weakens. But beyond maintaining boundaries, use this moment as an opportunity for deep self-reflection. Jung's concept of individuation teaches us that true strength arises from integrating all aspects of the self, including the shadow, those parts of ourselves that we may have ignored or suppressed. The narcissist's attack serves as a mirror, reflecting the hidden vulnerabilities within you that need healing. When you face their manipulation with clarity and awareness, you invite personal growth and transformation. Rather than retreating or doubting yourself, view each challenge as an invitation to expand your understanding of who you are. This is not a time to shrink but to grow. By confronting the narcissist with a clear sense of self and embracing this moment of growth, you take a powerful step toward individuation, becoming more aligned with your higher self. This process of integration allows you to transcend the hold that the narcissist once had over you. Each time you choose not to engage in their manipulation, you reaffirm your autonomy and reclaim your power. You no longer allow them to define your reality or dictate your worth. The true victory is in your ability to stand in your own strength, untouched by their tricks. The narcissist's final trick is rooted in fear. Fear of losing control over someone who has become too strong. But that fear reveals the truth. They are no match for your power. By recognizing their tactics, understanding the shadow dynamics at play, and staying true to your path, you can move forward with confidence. This is the ultimate victory, not allowing their last attempt to derail your progress. Trust in your own strength and know that no manipulation can ever take that away from you. You are the embodiment of your own truth, and no one can rewrite your narrative unless you allow it. Each step you take toward embracing your authenticity is a step away from their control, a reclaiming of your sovereignty. You no longer seek approval, and you no longer bend to their will. The strength you now carry is something the narcissist cannot manipulate or take from you. The real power lies in knowing who you are and standing firm in that truth. This is not just about surviving the narcissist's tricks. It's about transcending them entirely. You are the master of your own destiny, and the world needs the full, unfiltered expression of who you are. Stand firm in your strength, for you are the only one who can define your path. This is Echoes of Psyche, where we explore the wisdom of Carl Jung, the complexities of human relationships, and the transformative power within each of us.